Welcome to episode 3 of Sunrunners. We've had an interesting go of the prep here, but we're gonna jump right in with episode 3. Last we left off on episode 2, we had successfully made the first part of the maiden voyage of the RSV Banneker and made it to the moon base on Europa, and we were on our way to head back to Earth as the ship began to kind of go around orbit. They pulled aboard a ghost satellite. Some interesting things occurred, and then the ship began to navigate itself. And as it was firing up the FTL drives pointed right for Jupiter, the ship took off unaware and unprepared directly towards the maw that is on the surface of Jupiter. And as the ship launched itself into FTL flight, the course began to correct itself directly into the maw, and as the ship went through this giant, almost snake-like mouth, there was a black hole that kind of appeared in the center of this maw, and the ship disappeared into this black hole. So, traveling through this warp, we're going to start kind of in a transition stage. So everybody that was on the ship kind of got thrown off their course if they weren't locked in, like, FTL flight, you're supposed to be locked into your safety gear and everything. So anybody that was not locked down, I need everybody to, player-wise, to make a dexterity saving check to see how badly you're thrown about the ship.
I did give everyone like on the ship a warning.
You did hit the thing.
And then there was I think an announcement about we were going to move to FTL travel for a different reason, so hopefully people were starting to do that. I know I tried to.
Yes. The captain had made an announcement to prepare for FTL travel in about 10 minutes, and that transpired about 5 minutes before the jump. So there was a 5-minute transition, but some people could have been preparing, and then at the very last second, Hades did make the announcement.
I think I was at the bridge. I jumped into the seat, tried to lock in. So I at least tried. I don't know whether I did or not, but I was trying to get in there. Quinn.
Okay, Quinn, what did you roll for your dexterity saving check?
I will roll a 15.
Okay, so you are able to lock down and put your safety gear on and get that mount in the back of your head and kind of lock yourself in right as the FTL drive kicks in and you're kind of thrown back into your chair. Adriadne, what did you roll?
Oh. What probably would be helpful is dice. Oh, good. I did good. Now I have to get my character sheet and I'll tell you how good I did. Ha! Dexterity saving throw or check?
Saving throw.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice. So you're able to sit down, because you were in engineering, right? You had headed back to your engineering.
Correct.
So you sit down in your seat, you hit your little button, and the strap comes around, and your little visor comes down. And yours is a little different because you have to have mobility to hit the buttons and stuff on your console. So instead of locking your arms in, it just kind of comes across your chest and straps you in. And it is modified so that it fits your small stature.
Is a dirty 20 enough to do superfluous spins on my stool?
Yes, you're able to spin around as the FTL drive kicks in.
And the FTL drive spins you even faster.
Infinite momentum.
It's like tilt-a-whirl times 10.
You're just a blur at this point. Beats, what did you roll?
I'm having the time of my life.
Let's see. 10 plus 5, 15.
Okay, so you're able to get to your little, if you've played 76 or any of the Fallout series, you know how the power armor has their little harnesses. You kind of hook into something very similar. It's like a harness that's just kind of bolted to the ground, and it's very mechanical in nature and not so superfluous as the organics. but you're able to lock yourself
Losers.
Meat bags.
I mean, I can't argue with it.
It's true.
Elias, what did you roll?
I rolled a gentleman 6.
Mm,
Oh, that's my boy.
So Elias,
You go to expand your wings, and you have none.
you're not able to make it to your seat at the star consoles, and you're kind of thrown back up against the wall, and you're just kind of locked into place on one of the consoles. Your back kind of arched. You do feel a twinge of pain as you're kind of matted up against the console as the ship is launched into FTL flight. Hades, what did you roll?
I too got a dirty 20.
All right. So you smash that announcement and you warn everybody and immediately jump into your seat on the bridge, right? Because you were on the bridge with the captain.
No, I was still in the cargo room
You were-
with Beats.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we were still down there.
So instead of finding an assigned seat, you are smart enough because there's no other. Beats is the only one that has an assigned safety pod here in the cargo area, but you're smart enough that you know the escape pods have them in there. So you jump into an escape pod and hit the emergency lock button and are locked into place and safe.
Oh God.
Nice.
I hope I'm smart enough. I don't hope the whatever is taking over the ship is like, oh, I'm just gonna eject that guy.
Oh no! Don't give him.
Say split the party? What?
So
Drink the party.
at the moment that everybody is pushed into their seats and into the wall in David's case, the ship kind of takes on this like creaking and this groaning for a moment, and there's this immense amount of turbulence as you like hit through that black hole. You can see on the console the maw is approaching, and you see this black hole kind of get bigger and bigger in the center of the maw. And as the ship enters this black hole, there's this immense amount of turbulence as the ship is just kind of tossed about like a rag doll. And you're not sure how much time passes, but suddenly and without warning, the ship loses its sense of gravity. And everybody that is locked in, you're still safe and locked in, but David, you no longer feel that force against your body, and you just begin to kind of float forward as you hear the ship begin to set off alarm. The lights begin to flicker, and you can hear explosions in the distance. And the ship is beginning to kind of list sideways, but it's in zero gravity, so you're not able to kind of get that sense other than you can see on the console the ship is just kind of starting to list. What would you all like?
Immediately get out of the escape pod.
Yeah, you're able to slide the door open and get out into the cargo bay.
And I'm like floating in zero gravity, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will try to reach on my comms, I will try to reach the captain.
You just
Captain?
hear a bunch of static when you hit the transmission button. You just hear the
Okay. Beats.
Yeah, I'm still here. Where are you at?
Escape pod. Closest lock seat.
Why would you try and leave us in this time of need?
Coward.
How dare you?
You were supposed to be Ted Security.
Why would you do such a thing?
Top flight security, guys. All right. No, I wasn't trying to leave. It was the only place I could lock in for the FTL.
Ah, okay,
Um,
makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay, so can you still speak to this thing that's taken over the ship?
I don't believe so. I think it was just when it was in the satellite or whatever was in the satellite. I haven't heard anything since it jumped and went into the electronics in the wall.
You did not hear it. You have not heard anything since. No.
Okay, I'm gonna try to reach anyone else
Am I able to contact the bridge since I'm kind of locked in, or I don't know?
You're more than welcome to try.
All right. So I'll try and contact the bridge.
Okay. As you
Beats to the bridge. Over.
As you attempt to jack into the console and communicate with the bridge, you get this static, and you assess that the communications are in fact down.
But our other comms to each other are operational then?
Everything seems to be down.
Okay.
I'll do a diagnostic, I guess, where I am.
Okay.
Run, check all the systems, try to fix the ones that are all jacked up.
Subroutines.
Okay.
Subroutines.
Roll your
Subroutines.
roll your data check.
That's funny. I think it's gonna be like oh no, plus a whole 3, so 5.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, you're proficient enough in the system to know what you're looking for. You're not going to get any additional details, but you do notice that a lot of the systems are offline. The only stuff that is currently online that you can tell are life support systems. A bit of the medical systems, like cryo, is online, but a lot of systems are offline. As you kind of turn around, you also notice that the FTL drive is completely dead. There's no lights coming from it, and the chief engineer is laying on the floor.
Oh,
Okay, well,
You just
I
got
was
promoted.
going to. I probably
No
am
promotion.
sitting there looking through, looking through all the stuff and being like, this is broken. This is broken. I don't hear anything back, and I turn around and I'm like, oh, beans! And so I hop down, unhook myself, and I will go try to medicine them.
Okay, go ahead and roll your medicine check. We'll try to medicine them.
We need your help.
Just shaking them.
I'm gonna die.
So are they unconscious bodies floating around in the room then?
There was nobody in the cargo bay other than you and...
No, I meant down in engineering where she's at.
There are, the chief engineer is oddly enough on the floor. But you can see there is another, like, leg or something that's sticking out that's just kind of floating in the distance.
That is another strong.
It's not detached, you just see the leg.
Is it just the leg?
Does it belong to anything?
Nope,
Yes.
just a leg.
What was your medicine check?
5.
A 5. Okay, well, you're rolling really well tonight,
Oh
aren't you?
yeah, this
Very
is a great
consistent.
night,
Yeah.
guys.
You can't really tell the extent of the injuries, but you can definitely tell that this individual is still alive, because the chest is still rising and falling.
Okay, good.
But you're not sure if there's internal injuries or the status of the bones. Could have
Well,
a
I would
broken
like
neck.
to call for a medic, but I assume I try to do that and it does not work.
You get the same thing. You
Can I send sort of a text message through the computer?
So you pull up
You
your
have
data
Verizon?
pad and you try to do that, and you see that the systems for that are down.
Like those are gone too. Okay, cool. In that case, is there anyone conscious?
In the engineering
Aside
room,
from me.
you are the only one.
Oh, cool. That's super great because my movement speed is definitely as big as everyone else's. I'm gonna run out and go try to find a doctor.
Okay, so you're
Actually-
headed to the medical.
No.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm going to stay and try to fix the systems. I assume a doctor will come.
Okay. All right, so we'll
Yes,
come
sir.
back to you as you're attempting to pull up your console and trying to bring the systems back online. Quinn and Elias, you guys are in the captain's the bridge, and as this happens, Quinn, you're locked in, so you can kind of see. Elias's station is kind of behind yours, so you're not able to view what happens. But you can see Alfie is completely fine because Alfie is a combat wheelchair user. So his system is already locked into place, and he was already
like
locked in and
Totally
ready to go.
Joker.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Aren't you, Alfie?
Awesome.
But there are a couple bodies that are floating in front of you, unconscious.
One of them is Elias. No.
And you can see on the big screen, the ship is beginning to kind of list.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there is a moon. It looks like a very icy moon. It looks smaller than Europa, and it looks at a great distance away. And closer, you can kind of see this planet start to kind of inch its way into the view as you guys are beginning to list. And the initial view of this planet looks very Terra-like. There's greenery, there's water supposedly on the surface, and you can see what looks like the glow of an atmosphere, because you are close enough to this thing to be able to see that.
Awesome.
So what would you like to
So
do?
in my chair, I have a few questions. So when we were moving towards the maw, I know that the piloting was like, because the helmsman, I have to move things around. If I wasn't controlling it, was it moving on its own, or was the ship just like was the ship moving itself towards the maw, or was it being pulled into the maw?
You could feel the controls, like there was resistance to what you were doing, and it felt like the ship was steering itself.
Okay. I'm going to from where I sit, I know in the past I'd been able to control the like the screen in front of the thing. So without taking over the large screen, I'm going to start looking through exterior cameras. Am I able to see through exterior cameras? Because if I do, I want to look behind us and see if anything like followed us here or is like trailing us through this black hole.
Okay, you are able to pull up a couple of the cameras. You have access to like 3 or 4 different angles. Security would have access to a lot more, but you have access to a lot of the piloting angles and everything. So as you're pulling up exterior, the first shot that you get is of the port side exterior of the ship. So you don't get to see the actual ship itself, but you can see the port side of the ship.
Right.
And you get a very good view of this planet. And the planet looks about the same size as Mars, and there is a lot of greenery, and you can see there's probably water there. So you get a really good view. It's a very Earth-like looking planet.
Okay.
The other camera that you looks out into space, and you can see no signs of any ships, but you see in the distance probably 15-20 parsecs. So it's very small, but you can make it out. The skeletal remains of a different maw. You can tell it's different because the shape of the skull and the open jaw is different than the snake-like one that you entered.
Do I get a sense that we were like thrown from that, or is it just like we just happened to end up here and there's another one over there?
You do get the sense that the trajectory matches up, that you were probably thrown from that maw to your current position.
Okay. And then I'm just going to do a quick, just because I don't know what's happening in the rest of the ship. I just want to, for the rest of my time, I just want to figure out like life support systems, status, computers, like data management, which is where we were like storing stuff for the virus, see where that's at. I want to check propulsion and navigation. And I'll probably yell to Elias and be like, Elias, where are we at with navigation? And I'm just gonna like keep checking the systems and see like what do we have and what we don't have, and can we regain control. For me, it's all about like getting control back.
Okay.
If we can get it.
Gotcha. So you're kind of beginning to investigate that after you see the.
Yeah, I'm just like checking. Like, do we have this? Do we have this? Do we have this? More about like keeping the bridge and the ship intact and trying to navigate somewhere, but not asking for like the captain or anyone. Just and I know I trust Elias, so I didn't know if I'm getting his name right, but I definitely trust him. I know Quinn trusts him with his life, because we're level 1 and that's what we have to do. So I'm gonna and
Oh my God.
so he's like, oh yeah, he's fine. Like, we're all fine here. Everyone got in the FTL because Quinn got in the FTL, so therefore everyone else did too. So yeah, he's like, check this out. Like, see, let me know if you have any problems. Silence is golden.
So Elias, you are now free floating in the cabin as you hear Quinn shout out to you. What would you like to do? You also, Elias, you see Quinn and Alfie are safe and locked in, but there are 3 bodies that are kind of floating unconscious in the thing, and the captain is kind of beginning to kind of float up out of his chair.
Oh shit.
So I'm just assuming that Elias is upside down and he's floating forward. And Quinn's like, "What's going on, Elias? Do you have navigation?" He just like looks down. He's like, no." Ow. And I'm just like looking upside down out the main window, the main camera.
Okay.
I'll offer my hand up if you want to like at least have something to hang on to.
He just grabs your hand.
Yeah. At least help me get right side up.
Yeah.
Whatever that is right now.
Do we have like boots on that can just like?
Yeah, do we have gravity, like magnetic?
I think this is an act specific item.
Yeah, you do not
Is this
currently
specific
have
item?
them unless you
Okay.
have them in your equipment.
Okay, so I'm just holding on to the chair then that Quinn sits in. Looking at the camera at the planet, is there like looking at the planet and the moon? Does this seem familiar to me or my studies in any way?
You can roll history, but go ahead.
All right. A gentleman's 8.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're not familiar with just by looking at the planet. You can identify that it is most certainly a
Habitable.
habitable planet. You can see the atmosphere and you can see the vegetation, but you're
It's
not.
like a temperate, like regular Terran style planet.
You're not quite sure what the vegetation is made of, but it looks like there's some sort of photosynthesis because it is green and then there's chlorophyll involved, and you can make the assessment that this looks like a habitable planet with life on it, but it doesn't look like a familiar planet that you have studied.
Okay.
Back over
Yeah,
to
I'm
the
gonna-
cargo bay. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna skim through my brain and then look around and see what's going on in the bridge. Like, is anyone moving?
Yes, but
Like,
not
with purpose?
No,
Okay,
They're
like I
just-
was moving, like I stepped and bushed and stuff.
right. They are just floating in the zero gravity. They
I'm just
appear
gonna
to be
whisper to
unconscious.
I'm gonna whisper to Quinn and be like, "The captain's not moving."
I'm going to so hearing this for the first time, I'm actually gonna look about. I'm gonna try to do two things if I can. The first thing I'm gonna do is Quinn will pull out from in his jacket about a foot long. It's a long, thin rod that's about a foot long, and he'll twist it, and it's a log keeper. It's used to record audio. It can record up to 72 hours of audio, and then after that, it just keeps looping. It kind of like replaces what it was recording before. And it's like, hey, if we ever need something to be recorded, it's going to be recorded now. So not video, just audio. So he's going to flip it on and toss it back into his jacket. And then now I'm going to just try to assess what's going on around the bridge. Like, who do we have? Who's floating? Who's in their chair? Who's leaving their chair?
You
Like,
see
what does it look
the
like?
captain, with his head kind of tilted down, is beginning to float up off of the chair. There are 3 other bodies of the crew members on the bridge that are floating. They appear unconscious. And Alfie looks like he is doing exactly what you were doing. He's assessing the systems, but he looks very focused on doing that. Like, he looks
Right.
extremely nervous and focused on, oh god, what are we doing? Oh god, and he's
Great.
manipulating the console.
And then by chance, from the last few actions, any control over the ship? Like, can I move the ship or pilot the ship in any way?
As you're moving the controls, you do notice that they are moving freely, but they're not affecting the ship.
Got it.
And since you kind of spent a little bit of time assessing, you'll see the same thing that Adriadne had initially seen, that life support, some of the very limited medical is available, and the basic functions for keeping the ship from becoming a ghost ship at this point are functioning. Like, O2, the recycling, food synthesizers are running.
Got it.
But it's very bare minimum life.
Man,
sustaining.
never got to have that beef stroganoff, you guys. It's like
Okay, we'll get there.
so close yet so
We
far.
gotta get the ship fixed
Oh,
and we'll be
hey,
fine.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's
Yeah.
so close.
There are 2 Peters on stream.
There are 2.
This is great.
The more the merrier.
There are 2. Why? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me fix that and make sure that we have David involved in our stream. Elias, I'm sorry.
Who? Peter number
Elias,
2?
Elias.
Hey, who you
No,
call number 2?
They're multiplying. Oh no.
Ah,
Oh,
I got chills.
pro streamers right here.
So Elias, I'm telling you everything I just learned. And Quinn will be looking at you like, what are we gonna do? Like, what do we do here?
Yeah, I'm just gonna just get things working, and I'm gonna start kind of going around to the people who are floating and latch them down.
Yeah, we need to get the captain. We need to get the captain aware or
Yeah, I'm just gonna
alive.
do like a base check to like, are they alive? I'm not spending more time than that.
Okay, we'll come back to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
In the cargo bay, we've got Hades and Beats attempting to do some things. What are we doing at this?
You got an E6? Kidding.
Playing Go Fish in the cargo bay. Like, everything's fine.
But no. All right. So I'm not taking any teleporters. We have to assume everything's down except for light support.
Since I am connected in down here, do I know like the gravity system? Is it like the whole ship thing, or is it like a per section of the ship? Like, would I be able to try and get the gravity back on in this section, or at least in where we're at?
You would be able to attempt to do so, but it would be an isolated gravitational field, so you would be able to try to attempt to restore it to the cargo bay. As you're kind of perusing through, you'll notice that it is down across the entire system, across the entire ship. Would you like to attempt to?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Hades, I'm going to try and bring on the gravity. Hang on to something, or you might be waking up on your face, bud.
Gotcha. I
What?
grabbed onto his shoulder.
Yeah. What'd you? All right.
Okay, go ahead and roll a tech.
Tech.
Mm-hmm. Tech for the vect.
And
And we got a 16.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to manipulate the systems enough, and Hades, you feel this kind of slow tug as the gravity begins to kick in, and you hear this.
Okay. That feels much better.
In the distance.
Now, would I have any idea of how much of the ship has returned, or how much of the ship has the gravity?
You would notice that the only reports you can get are local reports to the cargo bay. Most of the reports and stuff that you'd want to run would be from the end.
Hades, I think we need to find a way to get to engineering and make sure everybody's okay.
I think we're the closest to engineering, right? Cargo is okay. Are the doors working? Can we at least make it to another section?
I don't know, but we need to check on Adriadne and.
No, that's what I'm asking. Like, can we get the doors open to get to the next room?
I have a big robot. I believe in y'all.
Wow.
Yeah, got really loud there for a second. So Hades and Beats, as you approach the exit door towards the hallway that would lead to the teleporter elevator, you do realize that the doors are inactive as far as the automatic sliding.
I see why they had door handles on these in the back in the day. All right.
Yeah, Beats is gonna look at Hades and be like, I could go for one of those little push doors right now.
Me too, buddy.
Base, after all.
All right. Strengths.
Yep, roll a strength if you're trying to open it.
All right, I will assist.
All right. So athletics, right? With advantage.
Right, if he's assisting, you would get advantage.
I got a 16.
Okay. So you're able to find a leverage point on the door where you're able to slide it, and Beats kind of grabs one and helps you, and it's fairly easy. It's a fairly heavy door because it's made of metal, but you're able to easily slide it open.
Mhm.
And in front of you, the hallway, the lights are kind of like they're almost like a fluorescent light bulb that's going bad. It's kind of flickering, and it's red.
And I think on the way out, Beats would also grab some kind of cable or something that we could like tie off to one another, kind of around our waist, so that if we do run into where systems are off and then we're kind of both floating up, maybe one of us will be able to anchor to a wall or some piece of equipment to keep the other from just floating off to the top of the corridor or something.
Yeah, there's plenty of cargo straps that are there so that you can grab a couple of those.
Okay.
They have metal clasps that you can even connect them together and make them longer. They come in
I
about
will-
10-foot sections.
Hopefully, I'm not have to use it, and not being sure what happened to that thing that took over the ship. I pull out my hand cannon and kind of float ahead of Beats to engineering.
Okay. So you guys are familiar with the ship. You know which direction to go to get to engineering. You have a couple doors that you have to slide open manually, but between the two of you, you can easily open them up, and you get to engineer. But before that, there's some time, Adriadne, to have some actions in here.
Okay.
So you're going through the systems and you're trying to reboot everything. And as you go through, you find that there is something in the system that has shut everything down, except for the basic life support systems, the cycling, and there is there's a function, like a sub-function running in the computer that's keeping the ship in orbit of this planet. So it's in a gravitational orbital pattern, and it's just kind of basically listing dead in space. Bare minimum functions, but it is functioning enough to keep everybody alive.
Well, game over. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yep. Bye. No.
We all know where this one goes.
I'm gonna step one, try to get the communications back.
Okay. So like I said, you're kind of going through and you're finding that there's some kind of block that you're not able to get around.
All right, then step one is get the block to go away.
Okay. So you spend a couple minutes, like probably about a half an hour, as you're kind of going through trying to isolate where this block is at. I need you to roll me a either technology or data check, whatever you want to run.
Too bad this technology isn't retro as heck.
It is state of the art.
Uh-oh. That looks like a high roll.
8.
Yeah.
Hey, we're moving in the right direction.
Hey, it's been better than Dave.
Okay.
Can only go up from here.
So Adriadne, after you spend this time kind of really trying to isolate this, you find that there's some kind of moving system in like a subroutine that's moving about the system and avoiding your programming, and kind of it almost looks like it's some kind of intelligence or controlled by something. But you are also able to kind of go through the systems and get a basic scan. And you're able to get a report that the ship is heavily damaged. There's a lot of like breaches in the outside hull that have been sealed off, that like the metal has been torn or popped open. It's definitely repairable, but because of the damage, there seems to be some kind of seal, and in order to protect everybody in those quadrants, the ship has basically been turned off.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like you're going to be able to bring systems back online.
Gotta repair that
immediately.
stuff. Got it. Okay. In that case, I'll probably hop out of my stool and start to head to the probably cargo bay or the bridge, whatever. I'm leaving.
Okay, as
With
you're walking
tools.
out towards the door, you
Yeah,
realize
that'd
that
probably-
the door is not working. it's not automatically polling.
Can I try to open it? I think it would be really funny.
Roll a strength check.
What if it's a 20? It's not. It's a 12.
Okay, so you're kind of struggling with it, and then all of a sudden, the door just kind of slides open, and Hades and Beats are standing there.
Oh, hey.
Oh, that was not me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cast
I'm,
burning hands.
I'm not that ugly, am I?
No.
Not that ugly.
Surprise! As a surprise, hi. You're both very beautiful.
I was hoping. I'm glad you're up. Can you get systems up?
No, but I know why. There's some damage we have to go fix, or else it's kind of complicated, but there's something that like won't let me turn the ship on, and I keep trying to chase it, and it keeps like running around through all the systems, and I can't get it. And so like, yeah, but I think it'll maybe let me catch it, or at least give me some control if we go fix the damage.
Right. Okay.
All right. Well, we're here to assist. We need to get everything up and running before we can figure out where everybody else is and make sure everybody's okay.
Cool, awesome. I
What
hand
do you need
like
us to do?
I hand one of them a huge like heavy bag full of tools. Follow me.
Beast will probably grab it and kind of
This
look
is not my job. Okay.
Can you hit stuff?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. You're good to go.
All right. We should probably see if Elias and Quinn are up.
Yeah.
They are 1, 2, 3. There's several floors above us, so
No, yeah, that's the thing. Is like it'll be easier to communicate if I can get this damage fixed. So
Okay.
then it'll be easier for all of us to like do the stuff we need to do.
is
But
do we have suits?
I would assume so. God, do
Yeah.
we have suits?
You would know, Adriadne, that the space suits
Who needs
are
suits?
Well, Adriadne,
Shut
thanks
up.
for asking.
they're stored in a separate room in engineering.
Yeah, then I probably am in a suit. I imagine if I knew I had to go out and no oxygen, I would do that anyway. So yes, I will be like, yeah, there's some suits in engineering if you want to go get one. Other
Alright.
option, you can go to the bridge and go get our friends.
All right, let's try to
And-
fix this stuff real quick.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I will kind of like Star-Lord summon my helmet.
Now, Joe, question.
Mhm.
Now, even though we know like the kind of the warping elevators are offline, are there still physically stairs or corridors to the other levels that you can walk through, like in case that these elevators are down, or is that the only way for the ship is these like warp elevators?
There are like access hatches and ventilation systems that you could use to get up there, but there's no like emergency staircase or nothing.
Man, they didn't think this
There's
through
no
when they built
ladder?
this, did they?
Again, there's emergency access hatches, and there would be ladders up and everything through the ventilation system for people
Okay.
that need to work on the ventilation systems and the systems in the interior of the ship.
We could use those to go from.
Right, but there's no like stairwell, like emergency fire escape stairwell or anything like that. It
Ooh.
would all be through
Emergency stuff.
I have an idea.
or
Hey.
maintenance.
Do those maintenance tunnels like echo?
They do.
One of you, we
Shit's
could maybe
like
try
a mile
to.
long.
I know, but sound is weird.
No one can hear you cry in space.
Ouch.
Especially when comms are down.
Nope. If it would take me an hour, but I could make a comm set.
We could
Do
have
that.
fixed the problem by an hour, but yeah. Wait, so Audrey, do you know where the damage is specifically?
Yes.
Yeah, you have isolated 3 locations where there are hull breaches.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. There's 3. We need to do the thing. Can you guys like? Do you think that Elias and Quinn can like do it like by themselves? Because maybe you guys can just go to one of the other things. Like
Need you to be
Split.
more detailed than that.
Well, I would
If
imagine
you
they're
think-
probably trying to get to us, or they're trying to get things up and running.
No, yeah,
It
I was
doesn't
thinking
feel like we're moving very fast, so something has to be
No.
wrong with the.
we're
the
not
ship.
moving at all, actually. Well, we're in orbit, but otherwise we're dead. But if
Well,
Quinn
It
and
wasn't a
Elias,
very good, choice of words. Not a
Yeah.
good choice of words.
little soon.
sorry, okay. If Quinn and Elias, you think they know that how to repair some of this damage, we could split up and repair them faster, or we could all just stay as one. Up to you.
No, I think Quinn and Elias are in the right spot. They were on a bridge last time I checked, and once we get everything
think-
running, we're gonna
yeah.
need Elias and whoever's up there to get the ship.
Yeah, I think we'll help
support
them out a lot. Yeah, help them out a lot better by getting these holes patched up so you can get the systems running. Once the systems are running, we can get a hold of them, and then we can move to phase 2, getting the ship on the move.
Cool, let's do it.
Okay.
3 spots, 3 people.
Back up
That's
to
Sorry, guys.
back up to the bridge. At this point, Quinn, you would also get notification or you would notice through your assessments that the reason you can't navigate the ship at this point
Mhm.
is because the fuel source is drained.
Oh,
So the void crystals are
ran out
powered
of gas.
by magic, and they are currently empty. Adriadne, you would know that the void crystals can be charged by magic, and in order to charge them, warlock sorcerers can power them up. But at this point, when you notice that the void crystals are completely drained.
All right. I'm gonna look to Alfie and just say, "Hey, do you have things under control here? I'm gonna go check the rest of the ship."
Under control is kind of a overstatement, but things are stable. Yes.
You're doing great, Alfie. I'm gonna get up and do we have life suits in the bridge? The
Yes.
suits that like help you stay in
Yes.
space just in case, because I don't know if there's anything
Would
outside.
be probably like their jumpsuits would probably also just be like exosuits, right?
No, there are separate items in dark matter that you have to have, but they are provided in an emergency thing on the back wall, like parachutes on a plane. You don't wear them on you, but they're within reach.
Okay.
Does the bridge have light?
You have the ambient flickering of that red.
Okay,
There
I'm
doesn't
going.
even seem to be like a backup emergency light system on this point.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to as a cantrip. I have the light spell, so I'm gonna pretty much put my hand out, make some symbols in the air, an avia rod for the symbol for light, and then touch my palm to it, and then just use my gauntlet as the light source.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
his left hand. So
Your
he's
left
right.
hand lights up.
So I'm gonna turn the light on, so it's like bright light for 30 feet, and then dim light after that. And I'm gonna go through and check the people. Use the light to be like, I can see them. Are they dead?
Okay, go ahead and roll a medicine check. I'll have you roll one medicine check to assess them all.
Okay,
If it matters, I don't have proficiency, so I can't help you.
it's a 22.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm only good at a couple things. Medicine is one of them.
So you're able to assess that the 3 individuals who are floating are unconscious, severely injured, but alive. They need medical attention. They've got several broken bones. One of them's got a caved-in and punctured lung.
I'm gonna take the time to do spare the dying and just stabilize them so they don't die in the however long until
Okay.
we figure out what we're doing. I'm not doing anything extra. I'm not trying to bring them back. I'm just trying to even them out the way they're just not gonna.
Yeah, so the one with the punctured lung, you do the spare the dying, and the rib just kind of pops out, and the lung just inflates.
Okay. And I'm I'm gonna talk to Quinn and be like, "Hey, let's strap them down in the chairs so if someone turns the gravity back on, they don't land on their neck and die."
And did you happen to look at the captain?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would assess that the captain is bleeding from the ear,
Oh no.
Always a good sign.
So
But
you're the
is-
captain now.
but is breathing.
Okay.
Is also bleeding from one of the nostrils. So one of the ears there's a trickle of blood down. There's a big gigantic gash across the forehead. So there's blood dripping down the eye. And is definitely unconscious, but you can see the movement of breath. So you can assess that the captain is alive, but in serious condition.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same kind of thing. Just stabilize so that the captain doesn't die, and then just like buckle them in with like a seatbelt.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna
they're
go
all-
through, and I'm going through. For those that don't have seatbelts, I have vent tape, which I feel like is the equivalent of space duct tape, and I'm just gonna be like
Yes.
one, like, not like imprisoned, just like enough to keep them in, because that's what you do, man. When you're a commercial mechanic.
You gotta MacGyver it. You
Yeah,
know.
exactly. It's like you said lock them
Spaceship's
down, so
broken.
that's what we're doing.
MacGyver.
Yeah. What if the seatbelts give way? Can't undo duct tape, even in space.
Yeah. Space
tape.
So you saved them. You saved their lives, but I gave them hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the
I
space.
Gonna just
secured.
end up
I,
dead.
se-
and
I secured their hope.
Right.
yeah.
This crew
Secure
sticks
the future.
together.
Yeah.
I'm going to stuck together now. I'm going to toss through. I feel like it's going to be like an aggressive toss, but then the 0G will kick in and it'll just float very softly. The life suit over to Elias. I'll have mine on, and then do I know how far it is from without teleporters to our quarters from here?
Normally with the transportation or the teleportation elevators,
It's
it's
like
not
instant.
that far. But
Yeah.
if you have to travel through the ducts and the maintenance corridors and everything, it's probably a good hour. Well, maybe like a half-hour trip from the
All right.
bridge.
Elias, what do we want to do here? This place is like we're sitting ducks. Are in okay. Who
What
knew
is the
that-
closest? What is the closest like active, like function area closest to the bridge? So you'd have like the med bay, the weapon systems area. You'd have like different systems within the ship. What's the closest one to the bridge?
So as you're kind of looking through the console and assessing where the functioning areas are, you see that there's gravity in the cargo area, and you see that engineering is functioning, but down, like the engines are offline, but engineering is functioning. The medical bay is online, but at limited capacity. Like there's not all the features are functioning, but it's on. And gravity is working inside the med bay.
How far is the med bay from us?
It's probably a 10-minute walk through the corridors.
Okay. We don't have our stuff with us, right?
You did stop in the
Yeah, we do.
residential areas and grabbed your stuff
before we got here?
Do we
So-
have like a comm set? Like a headset?
Yeah, all comms are down.
No, but like actual, like independent of.
Personal walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
If you had one in your inventory, you would have it on your person. If you didn't have it in your inventory as part of your starting equipment, then you would not have one. However, Adriadne has the ability to craft them as an item as well.
A little bit of gum, a little bit of paper
I
clip.
think we had.
Sorry,
I think we had our comms
I have one.
because that's how we were talking when we got on the.
I'll just try mine. I'm just gonna try to get Hades up because
Okay.
I know that they were in the storage area.
Yeah, everybody starts with a comm set as part of their actual equipment.
Right, and you were able to use them. They're short-range communicators. They're
Yeah.
not like long-range.
Yeah, we're all too far away.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, if I had left the bridge, I could talk to Quinn from the medical bay,
Yeah, they're.
but I couldn't talk to
short-range.
engineering.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to talk to Quinn and be like, "Do you want to stay here and keep an eye on it? And I'll go down to the med bay and see if the doc's alive, and we can get them the."
Yeah, I'll stay. You come back for me. I'll stay here and see if I can't send a signal to the other side of the ship somehow. And
Just
I'm
make the
gonna
lights
go-
flash.
Well, actually, what I'm going to do is if I can't get the like control over the power systems, I was going to go up into the vents if there are vents in the ship and just try to like open them. And I have a flashlight, and I'm just going to spend some time like flashing the flashlight down the vents to see if like I get a response from anyone that's there, because I figure it's a really, really long ship. Otherwise, I'm going to like try to I'm going to try to control like power systems and activate like power systems.
I have a question, Joe.
Mhm.
Would we know most Morse code from the Academy?
Morse
would
code
think
is an ancient form of basic communication, and you spend maybe a day at the academy going over Morse code.
Is
You'd have a
okay. So
basic
better
knowledge of
question:
it.
Is there a communication that is only visual, like a Morse code, but in current times with lights?
Most of the stuff that you're trained on is technology based, and most of that stuff seems to be down right now. But
Okay.
you
I wasn't sure if it was like, all right, Quinn, flick the lights up and down because the Vec probably knows what the hell he's saying.
I do love old stuff though.
Yes.
So it is possible I might know Morse code.
Why is Quinn keep signaling beef stroganoff?
What? Somebody's
The
really
guy's
hungry.
gotta give it up.
Jeez.
So you would have basic understanding of Morse code being a thing, and Adriadne would have probably spent a little bit more time like memorizing the interpretation of it. Whether you know it or not, that's kind of how much time you've spent. But the Academy didn't really go over Morse code a whole lot because it's an antiquated system.
I don't
And
suppose I have.
semaphore.
Yeah, I don't suppose I have like the ability to turn the lights on and off in the engineering room, do I? From the bridge.
No, you don't. You don't have that kind of function
worth a
from the
try.
helm.
What's this button do? What's this button do? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go up with 0G. So I'll tell Elias that I'll stay here to hit me up on comms if he needs anything. And then I'm gonna go if there's some sort of like vent that would run the like I'm gonna look and make sure it's a vent that's long, not just like one that goes in turns. If there is one. And then I'm gonna see if I can't just use my flashlight to just signal. I'll just signal OK over and over again, because I don't imagine I would have paid much attention to SOS, because who needs those? So I'll just do
I feel
OK.
like SOS would be the one you would learn.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
like there's spells for that. Like that's why.
comms go down.
I mean, but like Harry Potter doesn't have washing machines, you know? Like they just cast spells for that stuff.
That's
Like,
because
Yeah.
J.K.
Good
Rowling
point.
didn't think about
They don't-
anything.
they don't
That's
even
just
teach.
lazy.
They don't even,
That's
Yeah, they don't
lazy writing.
they don't even teach math at Hogwarts. Like
Exactly.
you know?
Yes,
It would
they
be
did.
Like-
stupid.
Arithmancy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah. I was like, didn't they
all
have
that
arithmetic?
science. Is that like
Yeah.
econometrics wizard version?
I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna using the lights. I'm gonna just kind of pull myself along. I'm imagining that they have like bars to hold on to and pull yourself through gravity and stuff.
There
on the
are
walls.
handrails on each side of the wall, and then there's also the lights are kind of underneath this like little ridge that you could grab onto at the
So you
top.
can grab onto. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull myself along and head toward the med bay.
Okay. We'll come back to you as we come back down to engineering. The three of you have decided that you're going to attempt to repair these damaged holes. So, what would you like to do? Adriadne, you know that one of them is located in the residential area. One of them is just outside of engineering, on the outside of the ship. There's a hole, and then the other one is up just underneath the bridge. So, like,
Okay.
the bridge is here, and then it's just underneath the flat side of the bridge.
Here is my personal plan. Step 1: leave a note on the door in case anybody stops by. Where we're going, like in order. We'll start with engineering and then go to the next closest, and then the next closest after that. I'll leave a little map. Be like, here, here, here. That's where we're going. And then I am going to
Be back in 5.
BRB
Out to lunch.
Out to lunch. Get one of those little clock signs that.
Beats was actually suggest that maybe we do like the residence area first, so that maybe if it's causing any problems for the residents or the passengers, we can get that knocked out first. We can do engineering last on the way back, because you'll have to get into engineering to get everything back up and running. So we could actually do engineering last on the way back.
Sounds good. I
Just
scribble
an
out
idea.
numbers and rewrite them. So do that, and then hey, also speaking of that, there's probably some med kits somewhere.
You would know that there's an emergency kit in each of the rooms. It's a very
Okay.
basic standard kit, and then a lot of the advanced stuff is all in the med.
No, that's fine. As we go, we should grab med kits just in case you see anybody that's like injured.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, cool.
Alright.
Let's go.
All right. So you know how to
To
get there.
residential.
Even though the elevators are down, being an engineer and being familiar with the layout of the ship, Adriadne, you'd easily be able to navigate through the maintenance corridors. So
I want to go fast, so I'm gonna ride Beats. I'm gonna make him pick me up and then steer him.
Yes, and I have the thermal sight, so I ought to be able to,
Yeah. Thanks, man.
not trip over big crate and dump us all. And
Okay. So you navigate through these corridors very easily with the help. Hades, you're kind of lagging behind Beats.
Yeah.
Following him along. Okay.
Yeah, I still have my hand cannon. I don't know if this thing is gonna take over one of the droids or whatever. Or, so I'm just staying ready.
Okay. So you're hanging back and you navigate through these corridors. All of a sudden, as you're going through the corridors, Hades, you see this flashing of light through one of the vent covers.
Guys, hold up. And
Going on?
I go to the vent.
Okay. I need you to roll me a let's do history.
a not die check.
14.
Okay. So you're getting this flash and it seems to be in a pattern and you're kind of it's taken a second but it clicks that this is the old Morse code system. And it's
Any of you guys know Morse code?
I do. And semaphore.
Oh yeah, then I think someone's shooting Morse code.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it and try to figure out what they're saying.
okay. Adriadne, you instantly recognize the code for being okay.
They're just saying okay, so I guess they're okay.
Okay.
That's all I know. That's all Quinn would know. Yeah,
He's like watching the lights.
I'm more so looking for somebody else to,
Why is he
like-
still talking about beef
To
stroganoff?
flashback.
I'm looking to see if there's anybody else out there. Like, is the whole ship dead? Or
Okay,
you wouldn't
We
know that,
should-
of course.
we should. I know, but okay. Okay. So I guess they're okay, but or maybe they're asking if someone's okay.
Do we
Oh.
answer back okay?
We should answer back okay. So I'll
Okay.
flash the same thing back down the corridor.
So after you spend about 5 minutes of flashing okay, all of a sudden,
Yep.
Quinn, you see this flash coming back, and it's the same signal, but it's like synchronized.
I immediately get nervous. Like, oh shit, someone's sending me something back and I don't know Morse code. And then I'll recognize it's the same thing I said. I was like, oh, I get it. Okay. Hey, I yelled to the bridge, like, hey, there are other people here. They're okay. I don't know how far away they are. They're like at the end of the ship. That's probably like engineering or something. They're okay. I'm just gonna yell down. Can you hear me?
God, can I hear him?
You get the faintest sound, and it sounds like a voice, but you can't make out what it says.
Hey, Beats, you got speakers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
Boom, 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 boom.
I get the little microphone. Can you hear me?
But you're too close, so it takes a little while to like.
Yeah, Beats will put one of his like speakers off of his chest plate, like up to it, and he'll kind of turn up the volume, and he'll play "Crawling in the Dark" by Hoobastank as loud as he can.
Peter,
So
you're
good.
able to hear the reverberating, and it sounds like the music, and You're able to tell that's probably
He's like,
Beats.
is that who this guy?
It's an ancient band.
All right, so I'm just gonna let the bridge know. I'm just gonna keep flashing. Okay.
It's just you and Alfie. It's
No, that's it. Oh, that's
Alfie, there's
his name.
somebody
He's like,
there.
Yeah. Hey, why is everyone trying to get away so quickly? Um, okay, yeah, great. I'm glad that I know someone is there. I'm gonna. It's kind of stupid. I'm gonna take my binoculars out and look and see if I can see who it is. Can I see down far enough? I don't know if they're
What
like.
is the range on the binoculars?
I don't know. I just wrote binoculars. I don't know if they're
Hold
like.
on.
I got them. I got them
I-
here.
the book. written
Okay, yeah, me too. Okay, binoculars. Objects viewed through binoculars are magnified to 10 times their size. So I don't know. If it's dark, I'm not going to be able to see anything because I don't have dark vision. So it's like, oh, the dark is 10 times larger when I look at these binoculars.
This is
Oh,
10 times darker.
You've
Yeah, you're,
stepped into that to black.
You're not really able to make anything out.
Okay, all right, good enough. Well, Quinn's really showing his true tactical colors here. Like I'm great in a fight, but this is not an effective thing. All right, I'm going to good. It's good to know. I'm going to kind of push myself back down, put the flashlight back, and given it's just me and Alfie, I'm knowing that my log keeper is on. I'm gonna spend the rest of my time detailing out for Alfie and the log keeper what happened to us in the bay, in the storage bay, what we saw. I'm gonna talk about Pan World. And I'm gonna make sure like everything gets recorded. I'm gonna talk about how then all of a sudden like this happened and everything that I knew occurred. I'm gonna make sure that it's recorded through the log keeper in case like something bad really happens. Then people know that it's Pan World.
Gotcha.
That's behind it.
Beats, can you play? Can you send a message through your speaker, like with your own voice?
I probably could.
Can you just tell them in the process of fixing ship? Whoever's up there.
Hey guys, we're okay down here. Everything up and running.
You hear this tinny, echoey sound that you can make out because you've met Beats and you've done some things with Beats, that it's definitely Beats. And it says, okay, down here, working on, and it's just kind of garbled through the vents.
Could I make some sort of check to remember how to spell Quinn in Morse code?
Go ahead and roll a history check.
Okay. I'm actually not that bad at history. And by not bad, I mean proficient, but I don't have any intelligence. Here we go. Okay, 5.
You think you know how to spell it.
Welcome
So
to my
I-
world.
So I'll take my flashlight and with a great deal of confidence, I will spell out my name and in Morse code, I'll like ting it on the side of the grates and then I'll end it with okay. So it's like 5 characters worth of tings and then okay.
So Adriadne, you hear this and you're able to recognize the Morse code, but it comes through as the letter N is accurate, but the other ones don't make any sense. Like it doesn't even spell out a word.
Lyle is good. He says Lyle's good.
Who's Lyle?
Lyle?
Okay, I don't think this is getting us anywhere. So let's just go.
No, yeah, they're clearly fine. So let's just.
Okay,
Lyle's
so
fine, we
you
gotta
you
move on.
proceed on through the hallways, and you get to the med bay. But we're gonna go back up to Dave here with Elias as you're pulling yourself along through the ship's corridors. You get to the med bay doors, and you see that the door has already been pulled open, and several people, as you're kind of approaching, are kind of floating outside of the door, like they're lifting up off the ground and begin to float down the hallways. And then you see some people being brought back into the med bay on these floating stretchers. And then as soon as they cross the threshold of the med bay, the gravity kicks in and they kind of float down. And you can see as you come around the corner, people are in a tizzy. They're just all over the place running. The electrical machines are beeping and buzzing, and they're trying to do CPR on some people. And there seems to be just this utter chaos in. med bay.
So I know that I've stabilized the people on the bridge, so they're not going to die.
Right. They're not an immediate. They're unconscious, but they're not an immediate threat of dying.
I'm going to help and assist the medical bay in any way that I can.
Okay.
So if I can stabilize people, if I can help them, if I can give them light where they need any of my spells. I'm not going to burn any spells yet.
Spare the dying is a cantrip, though, right?
Yeah.
So you're able to go around and help by the most critical people casting Spare the Dying on them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
So
then, yeah, that's...
you spend a good 10 minutes assessing individuals and helping with that before Adriadne, Hades, and Beats. There's a hatch at the end of this tunnel that you've kind of wiggled your way through. Adriadne didn't have to really suited for her. But you open the hatch, and as the hatch kind of slides open, you see the medical bay, and you see people running around, and you see this tizzy, and in the distance, laying or standing over the bed is your friend from the bridge, Elias, as kind of bringing his gauntlet up and casting Spare the Dying on somebody's unconscious form.
Just the coolest. Hi, Elias!
Hey! I'm gonna ping my my comm set. Be like, hey Quinn, everybody's okay? I'm working in the med bay. Adriadne, Hades, and Beats are, I guess, here. You want to drag down the incapacitated people, bring them to the med bay?
And then this satellite starts shooting lightning all over. Hang on one second. Yeah, hey, Elias. Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely be good. Let's see. How many we got? 1, 2, 3. We have 4, including the captain. I'll bring him first. I'll bring them first. And also tell Adrian and the others that I heard or I saw and heard something from the engineering. And there's people there and it's good. I was flashing my light and I saw them. So I'll be right down. Okay. Bye.
All right, cool.
So that entire
Bring the captain
conversation
down.
is broken up by a little bit of static, but it's effective enough that you can communicate.
Okay.
Every other word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna holler, but like, Quinn saw something in engineering. He's just gonna like.
That was us.
Did he mention something
Okay.
about flashing a light?
Yeah, that was him.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, he'll be here in a few. He's
I
gonna.
have to
we
ask him
some-
how to spell his name later because I'm really confused.
with a Q, right?
I think so.
I mean, that's what I thought, but that is not the letters that I received.
Q has got to be the hardest letter in Morse code because like nobody uses it for anything.
Watch it just be like 1 dot.
Actually, I'm gonna
That's
look it
it.
up right now.
Do it. Anyway, hey, we have some things that we have to fix before we can get the systems online, so we're gonna go do that. You should probably stay here though, because you're good at making people not die.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really was the Star Child. All right, so
Hey Joe, I'm also gonna after I get everybody stabilized, I am just gonna stay here and use any med kits and use any stuff because I am proficient in medicine and just it'd be another useful body helping
Okay.
get everybody okay.
So you're gonna spend some time in the med bay. You'll learn some things as you're doing that, and I will come back to that after the time has elapsed.
Yeah, totally.
Adriadne, Hades, and Beats. There is another hatch, an airlock hatch, connected through a hallway to the med bay that leads out to the closest location to where this damage is on the outside the hull breach is. And you know that you're going to have to go outside. There's no way to get to the hull breach from the inside safely.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, I'll also tell Elias the like locations that we're going to, so he knows like where we're going.
So Elias, you know, med bay underneath the bridge. She tells you about the immense hull breach right under the bridge. and then the one.
Yeah, then I'll
Oh yeah, you should probably tell
mention-
Quinn about that.
Yeah, I'll mention that the comm sets work really in short range.
Within a mile of each other. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
You know that, Hades, but you also know that there's some sort of interference in the ship right now that's keeping them from reaching their full distance.
Potential.
Because we lost our
we're
Wi-Fi.
we're in the ship too, so I can't imagine it's going to travel super well
Yeah, no,
through
like,
the metal and.
Yeah, like through 1 inch.
I mean,
something like
Wi-Fi routers can't even go through concrete, so I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
But you notice, because you tried to use it earlier, and you noticed that it was not working like it should.
Right. So I will go out first to make sure that nothing pops up out of us while I open the hatch.
Okay. Are you all three going into the airlock together? Or are you going into the airlock by yourself first?
Now that you mention it.
I don't want to. I
Well,
mean, I'm okay with him sticking his head out first, but I don't want to make him go completely
think-
alone. So
I think.
Yeah, I would
Beats-
think that you wouldn't want to like on the ship, especially because we don't have enough power. Like you wouldn't want to to open the airlock, go in, shut it, seal the air, go outside,
Yeah.
shut it.
yeah, that's too much.
All without life suits on.
Beats doesn't have to.
We
breathe,
have life
so
suits
he would
on.
actually go out to check things out first, and then, when the coast is clear, bring everybody out with him.
I
Doro
believe-
Origato, Mr. Roboto.
No, I think I feel like we should just all go at once. And I'll just keep my hand on the swivel, and I'll hold on to I'll have Audrey hold on to Beats while we go out.
Okay.
And well, as we head out, then Beats will he'll play "All I Need Is a Miracle" by Mike and Mechanics, and give a bardic inspiration to Hades and Adriadne.
Ooh, thanks.
Neat.
How
So
much
you
is that?
guys have-
D6 right now?
So yeah, you'll each have a D6 on your next saving throw or
Awesome.
whatever.
Okay, I was looking at my sheet and I remember wanting to buy mag boots because I thought I should have them, but I didn't write them down.
There are some mag boots in the ship, but you'd have to go retrieve them. You don't currently have them on. Go with that.
Gross. That's fine.
And the set of this
Um,
thing's hardwired to my feet eventually.
Yeah. Cool. So
Well, I think we would have stopped to get those since we knew we were going outside, right? Or no?
I
Did you knew
mean,
that you were going outside?
yeah, because we
Uh,
knew we had to.
Yeah. So will we have stopped to get some?
They would
Or-
have been in the same area as the life suits. So if we're saying that you had went into the engineering room with the life suits and grabbed those and put those on, you would have known that you would need them and
Right.
grab
Okay.
them as well.
Then yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I imagine
Yay!
they're part of the suit themselves, because
You can't just be floating around out there.
yeah.
We all
Goodbye
float-
forever.
We all floored out here, Jersey.
They are separate items, but they're stored with this thing, so you
Right.
could have easily
Okay.
grabbed them all.
Cool. Suit up and go out the airlock and yeah, Beats, what's going on out there?
So, Beats, you'll notice as you're beginning to open the first part of the airlock that the systems are all offline, so you have to do this manually. It's like a sub door. And as you all enter into the airlock and shut the back door and begin to seal it, you go to push the button and there's no whoosh of air. Adriadne, you would know that there's an emergency manual release that you have to crank to open up and release the air in the airlock.
Hey, who wants to crank the thing?
I will do it.
Thanks.
Hades, roll a strength check.
It's the worst that could happen.
12.
Okay.
You have a D6 to use if you want it.
Nah, I'm gonna save that bar expiration for something
Okay.
way more important.
So you're getting it, and it feels like it's really tough to turn, and it just kind of takes a little bit of strength to get it going. But then you start to feel that suction, and then the air is released, and the door opens up, and you are able to walk on the outside of the ship at this
All right. Turn on the mag boots and start looking for this problem.
point. You get sucked down and are now magnetized to the ship. And as you walk outside, you immediately see this massive rupture where it looks like the metal has just been rended, like an earthquake fault line just has been torn apart.
Mm-hmm.
You have welding equipment with you and some tools with you. And then Adriadne and Beats, as you kind of come around the corner, you also notate this like tear in the metal. And you see that several rivets have been just popped and torn loose. And Adriadne, you make the assessment that this is probably not something you're going to be able to just bend together and weld. You're going to need raw materials.
Okay, do we have to go to cargo then?
You're going to have to get raw materials in order to
Like my
repair.
vent tape.
Well, I assume in the cargo bay they would hold patching materials.
Well, Beats, you have served your
But
purpose.
that's just my assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down,
How much of that shell do you need, Beats? Like,
As they weld me to the outside of the ship.
playing music the whole way, playing taps.
They just weld your back so your arms and your legs are free.
yeah. But yeah, since it's a ship and a ship might need repaired, I kind of assume we would have like metal plating somewhere, and probably some sort of like a thing to haul it out on.
I mean, this ship is like huge. This is like football field and bigger, right? I mean, like this is almost a mile long.
Yeah.
The
It's a
terrace
huge
is
ship.
a massive. It almost looks like an earthquake fault line has just like shifted on the ship, and it's like the Titanic hull, just a big massive carve in the.
Okay,
The
so
damn space iceberg.
We
the
need
question
metal
is, do we have
sheeting and-
anything on us that can fix it? Like, do we have the raw material or no?
No, we have to go get it.
Not on you physically.
Okay.
We have to go get metal sheeting.
Is this like space yard
Load
level
it up.
repairs or like individual with a couple hours or a few days type repairs?
You're probably looking at, Adriadne would know, you're probably looking at several hours if you have all the materials necessary. Adriadne, you would know that even if you have the raw materials to fix this particular breach, if the other breaches are like this, there's probably not enough material on the ship to fix all three holes. You probably
Okay.
have enough that you could probably fix this one, maybe the other one. But these are massive tears in the metal. Like, this entire section has just been rended.
Okay, here's an idea. We got to get these fixed before we can go anywhere.
Right.
So, leave me and one strong person out here. After we go get some metal sheeting, I will start fixing this one. And then if you can go in the ship and get a few other people rallied up and start taking down pieces of the hallway and like doors, like pull the doors out of their sliding mechanisms, we might be able to get enough metal to fix the other two.
Sounds like a plan, but how are we
Yeah.
going to get everything through the ship?
Well, once again, I just assume that there are like loaders and stuff that we have that we can push and things.
Yeah, you would know that they are loaders, but they are also powered, so they may be down. You're not 100% sure. Because they have the magnetized motors that kind of make them float along, and if they're not powered, they don't have wheels, so they'd probably be
Right.
useless if there's no power to them.
So I'm asking Beats, but I'm also technically asking you, Joe. Beats, do you know if cargo can be opened from the inside to take stuff out? physically manually. And
Like a manual override on the
yeah, like
cargo.
if we were to go into cargo bay, is there, just like how we did the airlock, is there a way to manually open like the cargo bay doors so that we can float stuff towards up here instead of having to go through the entire ship?
Yes. You would know, yes.
Yeah. What about the drop ships? Will we be able to maybe put something on drop ships?
Oh,
That's a separate power.
Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah.
If they have power, then you'll be able to use them. If they don't, then they're pretty useless.
All right.
Okay, so I would do those things. Get the cargo bay ready to move stuff through. I guess you can go in the ship and see if there's anybody else that can help. That is like awake.
Round up everybody that's able and
Yeah, it's
start
like
removing doors and.
priority 1 is fixing these. Once we fix these, we can start fixing everything else.
All right.
They're gonna take this out of our
will-
paychecks, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let them find me. They can come take it.
Find the stool, find the gnome.
My stool is in my fanny pack.
Back up to the bridge, Quinn. After your conversation with Elias over the comm systems, Alfie kind of stops what he's doing and looks up and says, I've got some good news and some bad news, Quinn.
Okay, good news first.
So I did a scan of the planet below, and it looks like there are some hematite crystals down there that hold magical energy. There's a large deposit of them, charged hematite crystals on the planet below. If we can get those, we can probably repower the void crystals in the dark matter engine.
Okay, that is great news. I hope the bad news is less bad than that good news was good.
Well,
Trust it works. It works. Just keep going.
If you tell me the bad news, but in a good way.
Alfie starts laughing. You'll never believe who I ran into.
Okay, Alfie. The bad news.
The bad news is I think I'm gonna have to reroute power from the bridge to the cargo and the chariots to get you all down there.
That's bad news. How many? Could you land this thing, Alfie? If we brought this into orbit, like down from orbit, could we land this?
I don't
Probably
have
not.
any.
We can't control it.
I don't have any control over the systems.
You get as many people as possible on the outside and just jump on it and try to like force it
Right,
down
so-
into the atmosphere.
So just to make
Best
sure I
case
understand,
scenario. Boom.
Yeah.
we would all land. The good news is we would all land.
Oh, we
If
sure
bad
would.
news is
Never
the-
be able to get back up again.
And if we timed it just right and we jumped right before it hit, then
Yeah.
We might be okay.
You might bounce.
Yes. So just to clarify, Alfie,
Mhm.
we've got a lifetime supply of juice down on this planet. But in order to get down there, we could soup up one chariot and then the bridge is offline.
The bridge will be offline, yes.
And how long do you think the rest of the ship will last?
Well, see, that's the
At
thing.
least life support.
Life support seems at full capacity.
Okay. All right.
We could, in theory, float in this orbit indefinitely on the life support systems. But
Okay.
Oh, well, in the
we
campaign.
can't go anywhere.
Any bright ideas before any bright ideas on communication?
Well, there seems to be interference here on the ship that's caused locally. I'm not sure what's causing it, but our communication systems, it looks like, should work and function fine down on the planet.
Okay.
It's almost as if something on the ship is preventing things from working.
All right. Well, I'd say that we should take a vote on the bridge but I just took the captain and these 3 other people down to the med bay, so I think it's just you and I.
Well, if I reroute the power to this chariot and get it going, and we get power to the bridge, we can also restore power to with the charged crystals, storing power to the void crystals. That'll bring the engines back online, and we'll have enough power, I think, to bring everything back online and hopefully resuscitate the captain and everyone.
This is Peter asking. So I know that Quinn would know this. To bring these crystals up, is it like you actually bring up like physical crystals that we could put on the ship, or do we need like a giant gas hose that we need to carry or something? Like, how does it?
No, you know that these hematite crystals are magically charged crystals. Like, they're crystals that hold a magic charge. The void crystals can normally be charged by magicians or sorcerers, mages, physically charging them with magic. However, the ship is so dead at this point that they just can't get enough. There's not enough mages and warlocks and sorcerers and magical people on the ship that are conscious and able to get the ship operational with not enough to provide fuel. But these crystals hold enough charge that if you brought them on board, you could transfer their magical energy to the void crystal.
Okay.
So it's like a car that just the battery is like so dead you can't jump it.
Can't jump it.
Right. Yeah.
So we need like
another
a
battery.
massive battery.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna say, Alfie, give me. Shit. Guess we got to go all the way to the hangar then to get down there, so I can't communicate with him. I'm gonna say, Alfie, I think given what's going on here, you're acting captain. So say the word and we'll do it.
I'm acting captain?
You are.
Wouldn't
Alfie,
you
are
or
now.
wouldn't Elias be like next in line?
He's not on the
just kind of
bridge.
starting to freak out a little bit.
Alfie, you are single-handedly the youngest captain in the entire academy right now, or Starfleet. And you're in this unknown place, and even if this is the wrong thing, no one's ever gonna know. I still have my log recorded, by the way.
You know what?
So
You know what?
this is your moment, man.
You're right. And he hits a button on his combat wheelchair, and it kind of dislodges from the locking mechanisms that keep it in place.
Floats away. Goodbye.
He hits another button, and you hear this like, and the wheels begin to spin, and they're kind of magnetized. So he kind of like rolls around on the thing. Is like, you're absolutely right. And he hits the console, and you've got 10 minutes to get down there. Get your team down there.
Oh shit, Alfie! You gotta give me more time than that. I grab my stuff and I just start space running, 0G space running, and I'm like, like taking out got my concussion rifle, making sure it's in my bag, pushing it back in as stuff comes out, and I'm gonna be calming over to Elias and I guess individually to the other group to say, meet at the med bay as soon as we can. We got 10 minutes before we're out of here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
So you have 10 minutes. We're taking a chariot. We're going planet side.
Wait.
You hear 10 planet.
What?
Med bay.
How far is Medbay from us right now?
From where
How
you're
far is
at,
Medbay
you're
from?
you're just outside of the med bay.
Yeah, you guys are pretty close.
So
Like, how far are we from like the
Bridge.
bridge? Yeah, sorry.
the med bay is about 10 minutes from the bridge.
All right.
What
Well, we
is-
were
Am I
already.
going-
I think we were already heading
Am I-
back inside. So
Am I going the right way?
Yeah, from the bridge, you would know where the med bay is. You know the rough
But
layout
I mean,
of the
like,
ship.
will I have enough time to get to the med bay? I mainly like using the med bay as like a muster point for our team. But would I know, like, is it like, oh, the med bay's 10 minutes that way, and then it's a 45-minute walk back the other way to get to the ships, or is it like?
The med bay is on the way down to engineering.
Okay,
and
great.
And engineering you have to pass through engineering to get to the cargo. So,
Okay.
in total from the bridge. Normally, it's with the teleporters, it's not that big a deal, but it's probably about a 45-minute trek from the bridge.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Alfie, I need more time. Give me 45 minutes.
It's 45 minutes to get
Give me
down
an hour.
there.
Give me an hour. I'll take
Yeah.
an hour.
Tell Professor Alfie X that we need more time.
You hear over the intercom system. It's kind of broken up, but since you're closer to the bridge, you hear 1 hour countdown starts now.
All right, I'm gonna tell a group rally up at the med bay in 5 minutes. Actually, I'm gonna say 3 minutes, even though knowing I'm going to be late.
Okay. I guess we get back
Doing what
in.
I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until everybody says we're ready to go, because I'm assuming people are hurt.
There are a lot of people being brought in from various different departments, and you see a lot of residents as well. In fact, the residents that they're bringing in look like they're in worse shape than...
Yeah, because they weren't ready.
Never ready. He needs some milk.
Oh. Someone has to fix the ship.
What? Yes. We can't just. All right.
Guys, just get in here. Come on.
I go to the nearest person who looks, kind of like not necessarily in charge, but like
Next highest rank we got.
Yeah, next highest rank we got.
Okay, so the chief medical engineer is actually fine and is running around, but that would be a ranking officer, and you would recognize that as a rank in this area.
All right. I will try to flag him down. I know he's busy. I'm gonna not tell him to stop doing what he's doing, but I got to give him information.
Quick, tell him he's the only commanding officer real quick, and then maybe he'll just have to. It's like, it's all you, buddy.
I think he's stressed out enough.
I mean, then he'll know. Oh, I have to go into organization mode instead of personal health.
He's a doctor
mode.
Yeah. Actually, Rosalind Webb is a female, and she is in charge of the medical. Yes, Rosalind Webb is the chief medical officer. As she turns around, you see that she's got that shaved left side, got the details carved in. She's got a long red hair, and I'm talking not like redhead, but red hair. Fire engine.
Fire engine, yeah.
And she's got some very gentle features, and she's actually, I'd say average size. She's about 6 feet tall, just under 6 feet tall.
Oh, and that's average. Okay,
that's average.
Humans are big.
Okay, sure.
I mean, the humans that we've seen have been pretty big, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
It's space. You stretch out. You stretch out farther.
Yeah.
I was like,
you get all stretchy.
I'm Commander Shepard, and she's my favorite doctor on the Citadel. So I stopped her. I was like, all right, I know you're busy, but as soon as anyone is feeling better, to start welding up these sections, and I give her the sections of the ship that need to be welded before anything can be fixed. Apparently, we have to go down on the ground to this planet that's outside and get crystals.
Power the engine.
Okay, that sounds like a great plan. I'm focused on taking care of the injured, but I will transfer this information to the bridge as soon as I get an opportunity.
Ain't no bridge. Last guy on the.
You are literally the next in command right now.
Oh no. Okay.
As he points to the captain, who is probably like on one of the med bay stations.
Oh, indeed. That is disconcerting news. Okay then. I will make sure that we get a team of engineers together, that of survivors, and we'll make sure that we go down to cargo and sure we have patching materials, and just leave me with the locations of the breaches, and we'll get on that.
Yes.
I will leave her with the locations and a plan, and by the way, you're gonna have to take off some doors and walls on the inside.
Oh wow, okay. She's
because they're they're really big tears, man. We do not have enough metal to fix those. Well, we do, but it's attached to other stuff right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I will make sure that we operate under these plans as they seem.
Do we have the fabricator working?
If it's powered. If it doesn't have any power, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So basically, we've been EMP'd, basically.
And the best thing was
the information
we're giving them right now is to patch it as well as they can, and then once we get everything running, we can do a better repair job.
Well, I mean, like if we're down the planet, could we get like, I don't know, like aluminum and iron and crap, and bring it up? And
Alfie was able
I
to
don't think-
scan and find the crystals, but there was no planetarial scan, so you'd have to kind of
like once the
there.
system's up and running, we could then do like a proper.
right.
I
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
know. Do we have like proper mining tools?
You would
I'm proficient in Tinker's tools.
I mean,
you
it
would have
depends
the
on the
tools
form it's
necessary. Yeah,
I'm
you would have the
proficient in
tools necessary
smiting.
on the ship.
in. Mining
If,
lasers.
Mining.
if they're planning on going on a really long mission, which I believe we were,
We mine like asteroids and
I-
stuff, right?
having mining lasers would make sense to me.
We were not planning on going on a long mission. This was a
Maiden
out
This
to
voyage.
one,
out to
but
Europa
after
and
we
back.
leave,
No, but after we were done with Europa, we were gonna go like
for
Go
months
back.
and months
We're
and
going back.
months.
We're going back to
Yeah.
the academy. Yeah.
We're going back to the academy, and then we were going.
yeah.
The ship was not fully stocked with its
Why are-
long.
Yeah.
We literally have beats here. He has memorized the entire like thing. He
Gross.
just knows. He's like, let's see. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
18
we're
and a
screwed
half
right now.
things. Yeah.
How many screws? What? No. Yeah. Okay. Well then, we can figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We have technical people. We'll make it work.
So I guess
So-
we make our way to the cargo bay.
Okay. You get into the airlock and you manually do the thing to shut the airlock, and then as you're doing the manual override, you hear this like squeaking, this as the air
Trapped.
is being kind of balanced out, and it has to do it manually rather than a like, computer system, so it takes a little bit longer. But then you finally are able to open it up, and you're in the med bay with all the chaos.
And then
Elias
we-
is still.
Then we do the whole thing with the doctor.
Yep.
Doctor.
And then once
Doctor.
Quinn shows up late, it's like, okay, you said 3 minutes. Right?
Yeah, sorry. I had to go back and ask Alfie exactly where we were supposed to be going for this. But we should probably walk and talk. But before we do, Elias, do you think we could take any medical supplies for us? Because we're about to go planet side. I'm trying to say this as hushed as possible. Is that a thing?
Quinn-
Can we do that?
Quinn,
Had
you
like
have me.
5.
I'm pretty sure the chariot might have something in it.
Yeah.
Would I
Why
know
do you
that?
need medical supplies? You have me.
Yeah, great. That's a great point. Do you remember when you weren't latched up and floating around the bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, if that would have gone south, how would we have gotten you?
I mean, because birds
I
fly
reach
south.
over and grab a med pack and put it in.
I'm like, great.
He's
I,
like, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't think
point.
of that.
I space nux you. Yeah. And
Because he's like,
Hair.
and and if everyone's good, we're good. We can walk and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Okay, so on the way, I'll let everybody know. So here's the situation from the bridge. I'll let them know that the bridge has been essentially bridge personnel has been gutted. Alfie's there. We've lost all. You guys probably know this. We've lost all control. We've lost propulsion. We've lost communications. We lost FTL. Obviously, we've lost most gravity. We've lost computers and data management. We've lost the captain and a couple of crew members. So things are looking rough.
By
But
lost, you mean just unconscious, right?
yes, sorry, yes, great, thank you. Unconscious, captain's unconscious,
wording,
and
phrasing.
and spared, but everything else has been lost. So, Elfie took whatever juice we could, and found some crystals down on the surface. I have a general location that if we can get these crystals and bring it back up, we can use that to juice up the Banneker. But we lose the bridge if we juice up the chariots, which we're going to be doing in about 40 minutes. So we need to get to the chariots so that we can get down to the planet, get these crystals and whatever else we can, and then come back. And Elfie said that we should be good, and there's enough like life support and everything is great. And so it sounds like we have like an okay amount of time. But the thing is that when we were doing training, which I know Alfie's a brilliant pilot, he's a brilliant tactical pilot, but what Alfie doesn't learn is the long burn. It's just one of those things you kind of learn through experience. And when you're floating in orbit for a long period of time, these mini micro space impacts push ships into orbit and ultimately lead them crashing into the planet. So we should probably figure this out as quickly as possible so that the ship doesn't just tank and the next time we see everybody is on the surface. Does that make sense? Everyone here? This is like
Yeah,
piloting 101.
this is great. Yeah.
You guys got it.
I
Okay.
grabbed Audrey so we can move faster and just,
I
just grab her and just start just shoveling ourselves
Yeah.
to the cargo bay.
Okay.
And the
Go.
boom.
Joe, when we get to the cargo bay, I have my interface rig on because I always do when I have my stuff set up. I'm gonna plug in to the cargo bay,
Okay.
and I want to pull our coordinates in space
Mm-hmm.
and how fast we're moving and at what
Bingo.
direction. Very basic
Okay.
navigation stuff. Nothing complicated.
Okay. You're easily able to pull your coordinates into your interface. Are you looking at them as you pull them, or are you just like pull in and go?
I'm pulling them that way when we're on planet side, we can calculate a way to get back into the ship.
Okay, gotcha. So you're just pulling that information for later years, not like looking at it and pulling it up and analyzing.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that planet side probably. But for right now, he's just pulling it that way we have it on planet side. So when we're trying to lift off with the ship, we can actually get onto the ship, like make a trajectory.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will tell Quinn to get the chariot, the engines hot, and me and Beats will probably go try to get the bay doors open so that we can go out.
Okay.
Great. Beats anything that you know of that we should be taking with us from the supply room that's not going to be of use for people here.
Yeah, I'll round up some crates that have, some gear to put up shelters, anything like that. We don't know how hostile the weather's going to be, but at least we have shelter for you guys if we have to spend any time outside.
I hand Hades a crowbar.
Crowbar and space tape. What else do we need?
I'm
Not
also
giving
gonna
you a space
drag. I'm gonna drag a couple oxygen canisters. I'm sure they have those in the cargo bay.
Mhm.
That in case we can't breathe down there, we have a way to breathe.
Okay. How many are you grabbing?
One for each of us.
Okay, so you have a total of 5.
Yes.
Oh,
It's the one for the 4 of us, and then an extra one
yeah. Say I don't.
just
need
in
one.
case, because he
I
doesn't
can
need
carry. I can carry an extra one, or even if I can.
one. I was just gonna
carry
leave it
two.
on. I was gonna leave most of them on the actual
Area.
vehicle, just to have them in case we can't. Like if we're on life support systems, we have a way to recharge.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
As you guys are preparing and loading the chariot, one of the engineers that you're familiar with, Adriadne, comes running through. Wait!
Oh, hey!
Hey! I was told to give this to you, and reaches in and hands you 8 crystals.
Ooh!
They're like translucent pink in nature, and they are teardrop, I guess, shaped, but like angular instead of rounded.
right.
Adriadne, you would recognize these as transportation resonating crystals. So you place these 8 crystals in a cube, and they kind of create coordinates, and anything within the inside of that cube can be teleported back up to the ship.
Oh, sweet!
They have 1 charge embedded in them, and then they need to be recharged through means.
Okay.
Cool.
So we need to find a big enough crystal to charge the entire ship.
Oh no. Yeah.
No,
Well,
I mean, so we only get one shot at this, so we need to make sure we find like the right size crystal.
Joe,
Well,
we
I mean,
have the
if-
coordinates for the crystals that Alfie found.
Alfie
right?
Yeah.
did give you the coordinates on the planet side of where the
Okay.
deposit of these crystals is at.
If they can
Okay.
be recharged and I can recharge them, then we can also send up several smaller ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
If we
fine.
need.
As long as we're not. All right. And I will make sure that we get, just in case, mining equipment if anything goes wrong. If
Okay.
we need to physically do it
You
instead of
find a
using-
very basic mining gun. There's 2 or 3 of them, but they're not the most powerful mining equipment. They're basic standard mining. So
Right.
the ship is not fully equipped like it would be if you were out on a long mission. These are just basic standard materials.
And Joe, I got a question. Would Beats has a theory, but he would like to haul one of the shut down bots that is in the cargo area
Hmm?
and take it down with us to the surface.
Okay, so you're loading an automaton.
He has an idea maybe that that if he's not in the ship, maybe we can get it up and running and have another set of hands down there or something to guard the ship or just provide some kind of labor for us if needed.
Okay. Yeah, you easily grab up with the zero gravity one of these automatons and load it in the chariot. And yeah.
All right.
Right.
Before we leave off, does everyone here have some form of weapon?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Where's the armory?
The armory is next to the security office, the main security, which is next to engine.
Okay. Then, can I stop real quick to the armory before, or is the hour up?
We got 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I bought us 15 minutes.
You got about 15 spare minutes to get over there.
Okay.
and
Then I
back.
just want to I want to grab a standard carbine, and that's it.
Okay. You know that you're gonna have a pretty hard time making it there and back, so I need you to roll an athletics check. The DC to make it there and back on time is DC 15.
Okay. Athletics.
Hmm.
Natural 20.
Oh, yes.
You get back with 5 minutes to spare. It only takes you 10 minutes to swim your way up there in the zero gravity and swim your way back.
Jesus.
And you have a standard carbine ready to
I
go.
just like
Freaked us out and you brought back one gun.
I asked everyone if they had everything.
But yeah, you have a spare 5 minutes. And everybody loads up in the chariot, and you see the lights, the red flickering fluorescent lights kind of dim down, and then the white, and the lights kind of click on. The gravity was already in the cargo bay, kind of intensifies a little bit, returning to normal. You had a question, go ahead.
Is this the same cargo bay that has the satellite in it?
It is, yes.
Is there anything I wouldn't have spent a ton of more time looking at it, but is there anything like at a casual glance that like is the satellite powered up but everything else is powered down or
Oh, it still looks dead.
Flip it off when we leave.
And the lights, as they begin to click on, you hear the buzzing and the chirping of the machinery click on, indicating that power has returned to the cargo bay. And the chariot, you hear the engines kick on, and the trapdoor underneath the chariot begins to open. The claws drop down the chariot, and chariot is now released into the zero gravity as it kind of falls and tilts. Quinn is in the pilot seat, I assume.
Yep.
Pilot.
I'm still in the dock. Hey guys, wait.
Yes, wait. Who's in the?
But who's flying the plane?
Alfie's there. Hey guys.
Go ahead and roll your piloting.
Okay, here we go.
Can I help build him
13. 1-3. Oh, sorry. I interrupted you.
Too late now. We're all dead.
Unlucky 13.
So the ship descends, and you kind of navigate this thing towards the coordinates on the planet that Alfie gave you. And you hit those thrusters, and it takes off in a... It doesn't look as aerodynamic as the first one, as the nerves and the anticipation of what's to come is kind of a little bit bubbling over at this point. But you're able to navigate it into the atmosphere of this planet. And as you're entering the atmosphere, you see the flames licking the sides of the shields, and you feel that turbulence as the whole thing kind of shakes and drops and then kind of comes back up and hits that atmosphere, punches through it. And as you're descending down onto the planet towards the coordinates, you kind of brush over the top of some trees. And as you're looking out, you see this is a very tropical atmosphere. There's a lot of alien plant life, but it looks very tropical, very moist. There's lots of waterfalls in the distance and running water that you can see. You even see this alien brontosaurus-looking creature kind of bending its head up as you're kind of descending down into this open clearing.
So,
And-
like, what the fuck?
Welcome to Space Jurassic Park.
And
Terra
as
Park.
as the ship finally descends and lands on this open clearing of what appears to be a landing pad, you see in front of you this derelict mountainous city. It looks like there's a glass dome. It looks like it was at once a biodome of some sort, but the glass has since caved in and crashed in. There's a couple skyscrapers that are built in odd angles. They almost look like Avengers Tower, with that odd, weird angle. But they look run down. And as the ship lands on this helipad, you see this almost shield-like thing. Well, it's like a translucent bubble. Kind of connect from one side to the other, enclosing you inside this little landing area. And you can see in the distance a little bit of a door, like a hatch, that leads into this town.
All right.
Well,
Cool.
Okay, everyone, on your best behaviors, and don't attack anything unless it attacks us.
you think the dinosaurs are really stuffy people here?
I've never met one.
Me neither. So
Well, you told us to be on our best behavior. Do you think they think they're gonna think we're rude?
I don't think so.
I just like pick Quinn's goes like no.
All right.
You open the door to the chariot. It slides open. You are in this almost cubicle area, this landing pad, and that's where we're going to end this session, this episode of Sunrunners. So join us next Sunday
Cool.
as we explore this town and look for the hematite crystals to charge the void crystals that run the dark matter engine on the RSV Banneker.
All right. Good job, everybody.
Okay. That had some pretty interesting rolls, but it could have went a lot worse.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
You crash on the planet because Peter rolled a 5.
So yeah, join us next week, 9 p.m. for Sunrunners episode 4, and for all our other content, check out thenerdasylum.com, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Night, everybody.